Welcome to this video. We are going to play Spellcaster University today. And we are starting a new campaign. And the point of this campaign is going to be to play on the mage difficulty. And to really try to min-max the game and win the campaign. I'm going to keep the game length at normal. Longer games speed up the forces of evil, but also decrease your learning rate. It might be slightly imbalanced in my opinion, but let's stick with normal. And by the way, in this game we are building a magic school, and the Lord of Evil is coming to try and destroy our magic school in every map. And we are not going to have any challenges. So this is going to be, say, the YouTube gameplay, and we are going to set it to something, say, like a nice flower. And a background of white and green. And we are going to start in the forest. Students are a bit poorer. We have more students who are werewolves, and there is an ancient troll living here and a large buildable area. I think this is a good starting location, especially because of the giant troll. Because in the village we have the minstrels who are distracting our students, and in the lake we have the lake monster, who will give us a bonus, but only if we complete its quest first. And the giant troll is not going to bother us that much. Okay, so we start every game with a message like this one. On every map we get to choose some extra things that are going to help us out. On this map we can choose a stable and a faun, or some gold, or a counselor's office and a trophy case. And in this playthrough I think I'm going to go for the gold. And in this game you can spend your gold and your mana to get cards, and you can use the cards to build things. We are starting with a few of the cards to begin with. But let's see what else we get. Now we got a psychologist, or a nature room, or a private bedroom. And usually in the beginning it makes sense to go for the classrooms, so I'm going to pick the nature room. Again we are picking the classroom. Now the refectory, is where the students regain hunger, or reduce hunger. Magic armor is an artifact that you can put in one of the rooms, and the characters lose half as much health for a bit. And you can see here in the corner, this shows us whether or not we have the appropriate location for it. Now we don't have the appropriate location for it, but that's just because we have not yet built anything. And we have the same classroom that we just picked a moment before. But we are going to pick it anyway, because these two are not that useful. We already have a refectory too. We don't need two of them this early in the game. Now we don't have any classrooms this time. We can pick the spellbook. Nearby students have a small chance of gaining a specialization in a random school of magic. We have a copy machine, which helps the teachers reduce their tiredness. And we have a sword and shield that helps with combat. And I think I'm going to pick the copy machine. We're not getting very lucky with the classrooms this time. Dormitory, We already have one of those, don't need to in this early in the game. Same thing with the refectory, so I'm picking the teacher's lounge. Oh, finally, a classroom. So, now we can start building the school. I usually like to put down the classrooms here in the middle. And this is the teacher selection page. There are a bunch of things that we can know about the teacher. The most important one is their pedagogy, how good they are at teaching. Both of these are good at teaching. And their negative traits and their positive traits. This one is an axing visitor. It increases your reputation with the Inquisition. I will talk about factions in a moment. This one increases reputation with the king. This is more useful to increase reputation with the king. It's harder to do that, and you will need more of that. So I'm going to pick this teacher. And we are leaving out a bit of space to put other buildings here in this location later. So I'm going to put this light room here. These are both bad at pedagogy. I'm going to pick the one again that improves our relationship with the faction. And we have 2 of this room, which means that we can upgrade the room. This way it becomes a bit more efficient. But again, we are putting this down a little bit further away. Good, and the reason I did that is that so I can put all of these things on top of this place, so that they can be in the middle of the school. So now, there is a little trick I can do. Here in the headmaster suffix we can change the settings for the school. And what we are going to look at now is the application fee. We can ask for the application fee from the students who apply to our schools or not. In this case I'm going to increase it to 30 gold. And then what this card does is that we recruit 5 students. And let's do that. So the students, similarly to the teachers, have their ability to learn, their intelligence in this case, and have positive and negative traits. In the beginning of the game I'm going to accept all of them, unless they are really very bad. Okay, so now we have 300 gold again. And I'm actually going to put this back to 15 gold pieces, because if I really increase it, it will attract fewer people. And that's it for now. And now we can make a house. Before we start doing that, we have light rooms, we have arcane rooms, and we have a nature room. So a house is, this section on this screen is the most important thing, because every house, every student that is the member of the house gets some perk. And we can pick those here. And I think what I'm going to do with this house is I'm going to make it a nature focused house, because we get this perk here. That is the child of nature. We could choose these 2 as well, but I'm not going to. And we get light sleeper or unbreakable or jack of all trades. Jack of all trades is something I'm not going to pick, because this is going to focus on nature. Unbreakable loses less health. I'm not going to pick that either right now. I'm going to stick with the light sleeper. And I actually think this is a good coat of arms for a nature focused house. I'm actually going to rename it nature. We are going to focus on nature. And I could forbid them from studying other forms of magic, but right now I only have a nature classroom. So I'm not going to forbid them for studying other things, because in this way, if the nature classroom is not in operation at the moment because the teacher is away doing something else, they will go and study something else. And let's do another house. And I'm actually going to pick Jack of all trades with this house, because we don't have anything that this house can specialize in. For the other perk, Gourmet loses less health, Unbreakable reduces less health, and Popular, what this does is that when they graduate your school, they generate more prestige. Prestige is something you can see down here, and the more the prestige is, the more students we will attract. So we do want to keep our prestige high, but I think with this one I'm going to stick with Gourmet. It's really useful to keep our students' needs at a low level, because then they can spend more time studying. And I'm going to give them grey uniform to mark that this is the everything house. And there is no other thing left than to actually start time. And I'm actually going to speed up time a bit, because we are waiting for these little people to get to their place. Oh, and yeah, and there is one other thing that I can do, is sort these kids that I just put in the general house into the different houses. So, you are popular. That really doesn't matter for either of those. You are beautiful. What beautiful does is that they lose less sanity because they don't care, because they are beautiful. Unbreakable, we looked at already. Pretentious does is that it lowers other people's entertainment level. It makes them bored. And hypochondriac loses health over time. I rarely see health being a problem in my schools. This person is a worker, learns all magic 10% faster. I'm going to put them in the general house. This person is Jack of all trades. I'm going to put them in the general house. This person is passionate, learns the 4th and last magic level 25% faster. They are going to specialize more easily, so I'm going to put them in the nature house. And I'm going to put these two guys in the nature house too, and I'm going to dismantle the general house, because that doesn't have any of the perks that we have with the other two houses. Yes, and we can stop time again. We have some students that we can hire, or not hire but recruit. We have to pay for our upkeep, and there is the king offering us something, and that is 200 gold, or choose one card out of 3. And since drawing a card from our destiny for 400 gold, we are going to put a card. That's 200. And here this is interesting. We can pick an enchantment workshop, an assassin's arena, or a chamber of truth. Now, here there are 5 different types of magic. Nature, we already have a nature room. Light, we already have a light room too. Shadow, which would be this assassin's arena. Arcane, which we already have. And alchemy, which we don't yet have. It would be this enchantment workshop, it would be an alchemy room. I'm not sure I want this. I think I'm going to go with the assassin's arena right now, so we can have some shadow mana too. I'm going to put it on top of the main building actually, so that it's not that far from this central place where everybody will want to go anyway. So we have a good teacher versus a mediocre teacher. In a case like that, I usually just pick the teacher with the better teaching skills. And we have students that we can take on. Now this person is an alchemy apprentice. We do not teach alchemy in this school yet. And is a happy sleeper, we don't care about that. I'm going to put them in the general house, because eventually I might prohibit the nature students from learning other aspects of magic. So the people who are good at something, I'm going to put them in the general house for now. Shadow Disciple, good at learning Shadow, so I'm going to put it in the general house. Diligent generates 10% more mana, putting them in the nature house. Jack of all trades, general house. Jack of all trades, general house. And we can start time again. You can just click that and it disappears. The Adventurers Guild wants something. Now they have 3 different things that we can pick. We can pick VR mages who mend folk, we can pick VR mages who can blow things up, we can pick mages that know to use magical trinkets. And we are going to get cards offered that are related to these statements. I find that mages who can mend things is a pretty good one. Let's pick this one. And here we have a banner that increases our reputation with the Adventurer Guild. We have a plan that decreases boredom but also reduces health, and we have a medical cabinet that recovers health. And I'm going to pick the guild banner because increasing our relationships with the faction is usually slow and tedious, so it's good to pick things that make that easier. And I'm going to put it here in the Assassin's Arena. Okay. So we got to the point where we can deal with the factions. But let's see the giant troll first. So, giant troll. If our reputation with him falls to -100, he will wake up and he won't be happy about it. I suppose that means that if it wakes up, then that's game over, I think. So, we have the guinea pig, flying guinea pig, or guinea pig catapult, and we can use that to send messages to the different factions. We have the guild, we have the king, we have the village, we have the merchant, we have the orcs, we have the Inquisition, and we have the local cemetery where the Lord of Evil lives. And we have the special faction, which on this map is the giant troll. And that's the first person we are going to interact with. And so there are different things that we can do. In this case, we can choose just let him be, and that doesn't do anything. We can pick to decrease reputation with him, but gain 400 gold. We can increase reputation with him by spending 200 nature mana. That's why one of the reasons why I'm trying to focus on nature, because on this map that's actually pretty good. That also gives us 2 prestige. And we can just increase reputation with him for free if we have 4 private bedrooms, which we don't now. These 2 are grayed out because we cannot do them right now. It's good to know that they exist though. And the reason I came here is because I want the 400 gold, and I'm willing to decrease my reputation with the troll by 20. That is not going to take us that much closer to -100 reputation. So I'm willing to do that to get this early game advantage. So we can pick another card. So this painting is furniture. We can put it in one of the rooms. Actually, it's like wall furniture. We can hang it on a wall. It reduces the growth rate of the needs of people. We can get another student's hall, or we can get a teacher's lounge. And I think that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the teacher's lounge. And as you can see, we already have enough shadow mana to pick another shadow card as well. So here we can pick the health risk waffle maker, gain a bit of hunger but lose a bit of health. We have the demon tapestry that teaches us demonology. One thing I haven't mentioned is that all of these different brands of magic also have 3 sub-disciplines that the different kind of classrooms teach and objects teach and all of that good stuff. It usually makes sense to specialize in one of them. Now we have an Assassin's Arena, that is another sub-skill of the shadow magic, and this would teach us demonology. We don't really want that because we are already having the students learn assassination. This one it allows non-humans to improve their magic discipline. I don't think we have any non-humans yet, although on this map there are a bit more werewolves than otherwise would be. But I'm going to pick the Elthrix waffle maker. It's also good to pick this because there is an event with the orcs. And if you have this item, they will not attack anyone. Because you can pay them off with waffles. Okay, so this is another thing that happens in the beginning of every game. The villagers come to you and they ask you what kind of magic are you teaching. And you can pick between sacred magic, nature magic and shadow magic. And depending on which one you pick, you gain mana of that kind. And you gain a bit of reputation or lose a bit of reputation with different factions. None of the reputation gains or losses are that bad. But in this case we already have shadow magic and light magic and nature magic. So I think I'm going to pick more nature magic because on this map we are going to focus on that. So here we have a couple of interesting things. This ant pine is an artifact that teaches our students druidism in the spring, elementalism in the summer and necromancy in the fall. I'm not going to pick this one right now. This one is the pig chamber. It will make the guinea pigs more frequent. And this snake improves the efficiency of the rooms on the snake's floor. And I am kind of torn between these two. Putting this on the first floor if we can put it on the first floor, which we might not actually be able to. So I'm picking this guinea pig chamber right now. I like to put it somewhere in the side. And let's start time. Let's stop time. Can get some new students. So this person is chosen by the light and alchemic apprentice, but is dumb. It might also make sense to look at the years that they are going to study. This person is in year 1 of 5, so they are going to study for a pretty long time. So I don't actually care that much that they are studying by a slower rate. So I'm going to put them in general house. Now this person is an arcane scholar, general house. We don't have very good students right now. Ambitious, popular. I'm putting them in the nature house. Courageous, deals more damage in combat, don't care about that right now. General house. What do the orcs want? So, the orcs are threatening us. We can give them gold and gain some reputation with them. We can lose some reputation with them or be attacked by 4 orcs. And I'm going to pay them to gain some reputation with them. Students are arriving. Okay, students again and orcs again. Okay. Nature house, brilliant. Nature house, passionate. Nature house, good. These were a better set of students than the previous ones. It is the exact same message we had just a minute ago, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. Another guinea pig, another 400 gold. Another card. Hunting trophy, characters move faster. This room, there are rooms like that that teach all the sub-disciplines of the form of magic. So this is a shadow room that teaches necromancy, demonology and assassination. These ones can be okay to pick. I'm not going to pick one right now because we have other good things that we can pick. So we're going to pick this one and put it here. This speeds up the character speed, which is important because they walk very slowly. You can pick a light card. Now there is this phoenix. What this does is that there are dungeons in the game that you can do, and it gives us a phoenix feather that will resurrect our characters in the dungeon. Or we can pick a medical bed that helps us recover some health and gain some gold. Or we can pick the pyre. Students have a chance of becoming good and earning them traits that allow them to study light magic faster. I'm going to pick the medical bed right now. Some extra gold is pretty useful. Okay, we have some new students. I don't think I talked about this yet. Students can also be worse at learning a specific brand of magic. This person is worse at learning alchemy. So the nature house is a great place for this person. Shadow, general house, shadow, general house, arcane, general house. Okay, so the merchants are coming to us and they will sell us a janitor's lodge, a cleaning potion formula, which means that we get a weight potion and a cleaning potion. Organic formula, this gives us a ruler, which is an animal that cleans the floors, or we can say no thanks. I'll pick the janitor's place, put it here on top. This person is appropriate, much better than bad. This is the janitor that we'll pick. So, cleanliness of the rooms. They are all red now, that means that they are pretty dirty. They would be green if they were clean. And that makes the rooms a bit less efficient. So cleaning them is a good thing. I think I am not taking any further risks with the troll. We are going to look at some of the other factions. How much mana I have. What I could actually do is become friends with the Inquisition, which is going to be useful later. So with these not special factions, what happens is they have a couple of things that you can always do with them, and they are going to have a special event. I actually kinda wish I chose that pyre. I didn't. Although it wouldn't matter because I can't have it. Oh no, I could have it. If only I had a pyre. But I don't. Anyway, what you can always do with them is to improve your reputation with them with 5 points. Or you can give up some of your shadow mana to improve your reputation with them by 20 points. And if you have at least 50 reputation with them, you can get 100 light mana just for free, no questions asked. What I'm going to do is improve reputation by 20 points. We have this guy who will give us a quest. We can have 3 different quests for every map, and if we complete them, we are going to have some perk for the rest of the campaign. The more quests we complete, the better the perk is going to be. So the quest that this guy is giving us is to train students for a specific future. When the students finish their education, they will receive a future, and that by itself will give us some perks. But we can also take this quest and teach them a specific future, and that will complete the quest and will get the bonus that I talked about. So he offers us 3 choices. We can teach students to be unicorn handlers, which requires druidism and beast magic. We can teach them to be carnivorous plant gardeners, which requires druidism and assassination. Or we can teach them to be stonecutters, which requires runes. Now, we do not have a room that teaches runes yet. But what we do have is we have a room that teaches all the different brands of nature magic. So druidism, beast magic, and herbalism as well. Herbalism is not relevant right here. So we could actually go both of these directions. We also have a room that teaches assassination. We could go the pure nature route, or we could go nature and assassination. And I think in this case I might just go pure nature. Just because that's what we've been kind of building with our houses so far. Yeah, let's go for the unicorn handlers. And from now on we can see our quest here, which is pretty useful. We'll have enough nature mana in a moment to pick another nature card. And this actually allows us to pick either a classroom that teaches druidism or a classroom that teaches beast magic. But first, let's get some more students. You're a child of nature, you go to the nature house. You have claustrophobia, you are not going to learn shadow magic that well, but that is going to be completely irrelevant if you go to the nature house. You are learning shadow, you are going to the general house. What do the orcs want again? Oh, they want to give us a quest. This is a quest that if we reach 90 reputation with the orcs, that's when the quest is completed. Now we could go for that. This would be a pretty easy quest to complete. It would kind of make our reputation with the king and the Inquisition a bit worse, though. But I think because this is the first map of this campaign, I'm going to pick the easy quests if I can get them. So yeah, let's do that. Especially because we already have some reputation with the orcs. And let's pick a nature card. We can pick the Dolomon that teaches druidism. Or we can pick a clan banner that increases the reputation with the orcs. But increasing reputation with the orcs is not that difficult, so let's pick the thing that teaches druidism, which is one of the things that we will need for this quest. And let's pick this teacher because she's excellent. And also let's modify this house, and let's say I want these students to only learn nature magic, and let's allow them to learn some light too for now, because that way they can do something even if these classrooms are not available. Okay, here is this guy. He also gives us a quest, and this is a quest to get a certain amount of mana from 4 of the disciplines, excluding shadow magic, so these 4. Obviously we are going to pick nature. And here is our quest. We need to gather 8000 nature mana throughout the total map. Let's pick this card. Okay, so this makes the students richer, and gold is good, so let's pick that. And let's put it in their community room. Oh, many things happened all of a sudden. Let's see the students first. This person is dumb and also poor. They are going to learn for a long amount of time, and they are ambitious. Let's put them in the nature house. Chosen by the light. Allergic to pollen, so they can't go in the nature house. They learn that 50% slower. Let's put them in the everything house, and also let's prohibit learning nature for the everything house, just so that they don't take up places from our nature specialists in these classrooms. What do the merchants want? We can get a card, or we can say that we are not the kind of guy to buy things that fell off the back of a wagon and gain some prestige. I think I'm going to take his offer now. So these are things that the students can wear if they reach a certain level in a certain type of magic. And none of these are very good. This one is probably the best. If a student reaches level 1 in beast magic and herbalism, they will walk a bit faster. And the reason it's not amazingly good is because we don't want to specialize in herbalism, although we do have a rule that teaches everything, so it teaches herbalism too. So let's pick this one. The other two are kinda useless for us. Oh, and guinea pig. Let's see. King. We don't have that good of a reputation with the king right now. Inquisition is fine actually. But we really should be focusing on the orcs. Let's see. We don't have a negative yet from having a bad relationship with the king. The tooltip tells us what the disadvantages that we get from having bad reputations with them, or what the advantages we get for having good reputations with them. And we need to have minus 25% reputation with them to get the negative perk. So I don't care that much about this right now. I'm going to improve my relationship with the orcs because that's my quest. We have a special thing that we can do. Oh, if we have cheese and alcohol, we could almost complete the quest right now. But we don't, it's early in the game. Those things come later, so let's improve our relationship by 20. By the way, This would improve it by 10 just for free. We could get some nature mana for 5 reputation. Or if we add 50 reputation, we could spend 40 of that to slow down the Lord of Evil. But the King will be an easier way to slow down the Lord of Evil, by the way. So let's do a party. Why not? And as you can see, our little star is very close to getting full. Okay, more students. This is a Shadow Disciple, Everything House. And here is this person too. She is like the student president or whatever. She comes to us with students' problems and now they want to organize a ball or something. And we could spend 100 nature mana and get a Dolaman, spend a bit of money and get a refectory. If we had 2 refectories, we could get some cheese and alcohol, which would actually be pretty good to gain reputation with the orcs, but we don't have that. And we can tell them that there is not going to be a ball and lose some reputation or some prestige. But we are not going to do that. We are going to actually get a Dolaman, because we are trying to train our students to be good druids anyway. And actually, I think in this case, I am going to have a second Dolaman, so they can always learn druidism, even if this teacher is doing something else. So let's do that. Let's pick the better teacher and let's move on. Another guinea pig. Stick with building reputation with the orcs. So, orc warriors seem to have been beaten pretty badly by the Lord of Evil. We can decrease our reputation with the village and spend a bit of gold and get a good amount of reputation with the orcs. I think we'll complete this quest actually. No, not yet, but we'll get very close to it, so let's do this. I don't care about the peasants. Actually, what's my reputation with the peasants? Map. -10. Yeah, I don't care about that. So here we have this. This room teaches all aspects of arcane. This is a dragon. It makes it so that the people it encounters learn arcane mana faster. And this is a door that allows them to learn portal magic and enchantment a bit faster. And I think I'm going to do the Elementalist Dojo. What the Elementalist Dojo does is teaches them Elementalism, which is actually a pretty useful combat skill. And I don't think we have a combat skill yet. Or actually I don't remember. Assassination might be a combat skill. And so is Druidism. Anyway, let's do this. I picked already, so let's do it. I'm going to pick the better teacher. Let's see the new students. Now, this is what I talked about when I talked about bad students. This person learns slowly, is poor, so we are not going to get that much gold out of him. They don't study for very long, so that doesn't compensate for them being slow. And they have 1 negative trait and no positive traits. So I'm just not going to take on these students. So nature, finally, we have something that teaches us beast magic, which is the other kind of magic that we needed for our quest. Although this little room teaches all kinds of nature magic, but this specifically teaches beast magic, so let's pick it. And let's put it here. Both teachers are good. This person is not unionized, which means that we don't have to pay them that much, and none of them are connected to any of the factions, so I'm just going to pick the cheaper teacher. What do you want? Yeah, the same ball thing again. We don't have enough nature mana to pick the Doleman again, so I'm going to get the refactory now. And I will put it on top of this building, so that if students get hungry in this building, they can go and get some food here too. Are the students coming along? Not that good at beast magic, but you can see as they are improving in the realism. So, what this troll does sometimes is we get this random event where we just lose either reputation with him, or we can choose to lose a bit of arcane mana and a bit of reputation with him. Unfortunately, I don't have arcane mana right now, so I will have to take the reputation loss, and I will probably have to use my next guinea pig to improve reputations with him, because we are getting pretty close to that -100, though we are not quite there yet. So yeah, I'm going to wait a bit to get some nature mana. I think I need 200, and then I'm going to send the guinea pig to the troll. Let's get some students in the meantime. This person doesn't have any specialized skills, so let's put them in the nature house. They were going to study for 7 years, which is good. The longer the students study, the more they will increase their skills. So even though that student was not very smart, they might end up being a worthy student. What do you guys want? Oh, the same thing again. There are lots of solace balls in this like few days. I'm not going to pick the Doleman because I'm waiting for the nature mana for the guinea pig. So let's actually pick this. Maybe I can use it to gain some rep with the orcs later on, or to use it in some potions. So I'm going to regain some reputation with the troll, which is a good thing. And you know what, let's look at these things, and I'm going to end this episode then. After that, this student is normal, it's jack of all trades, going to the general house. What do the Inquisition want? They are threatening us. We can decrease our reputation with them, or we can pay them. I'm going to pay them. So this is the end of the first episode. See you in the next one.